Welcome. Come on in. We'll give people just a couple minutes to join in. Really excited about today's content. So welcome. I'm gonna get started with a question here. Actually, a couple of questions. Have you ever thought about, I guess, why some financial advice professionals get referrals but others don't? Or why does this financial advisor over here, like, why do they have like three, four, five, or more different COI partners that are referring them business, but then others do not? Maybe they got zero or one. Well, I'll submit to you that most financial advice professionals do not have a process, meaning a process that they've developed, they've worked, and they can continue to repeat in order to grow what we'll call a large CPA and attorney network. They don't have that process, right? In fact, what we've seen is that a lot of financial advice professionals, they in a room full of 50, there's one or two folks there that just kind of, because they've been in the business 30, 40 years, and now they kind of they've had some success, and they've gotten several large clients from about two or three different CPAs in their career, and that's kind of what they've worked. So there's like a small network there, but the majority of the folks out of that 50, they just don't have it. So today we're going to talk about this thing called the process, right? And there's a couple of things that we're going to talk about as well, but I'm really excited about this topic. This is going to kind of be more of a webinar format in a sense. And for many of you that are on the call, I know that you've been on our other calls. You've seen it's more participation. We typically do that, and those are much more exciting, right? But today I just wanted to give you all some information and just kind of load you up with a process that you can actually just kind of take and really start using like right now, right? So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we'll get rolling. We'll have some fun. All right. All right. So welcome to the COI Process Masterclass. You all like that word masterclass, right? And we've done some workshops, we've done different events, but I wanted to get more sophisticated today. So let's make this a masterclass so we can kind of learn a lot. And again, for some of you that have been kind of with us for years, you're going to see a lot of similar information, but we've truly found out that this is just like if you were an athlete when y'all practice the same play, the same stroke, the same shot. Um, this is worth repetition in a big way. Okay. So first I want to just kind of throw this, why don't y'all throw this answer in the chat? I just want to just kind of see what is your biggest challenge? Like, so as it relates to CPAs and attorneys, feel free to put this in the chat. Love to hear, like, what is your biggest challenge as it pertains to CPAs and attorneys? Is it, how do you get in front of them? Sometimes it's, I'm giving referrals, but they're not reciprocating. Sometimes it's, I just need more, right? Like, I've got one or I get a couple, but I just need more consistent. Feel free to go ahead and throw that in the chat. Love to hear that one. All right. Next question I want to ask y'all. Well, what do y'all want to see? So you've got a challenge, you've got that challenge. Well, what do you want to see happen? Like, what do you want to, like, what do you kind of envision yourself in terms of like your success with CPAs and attorneys? Like, and I want to take the limits off here. Like, your experience, whatever you've experienced in the past, forget that. Let's just say you're starting brand new, but yet you've got the skills at like at 1,000% level. But you don't remember that CPA that didn't give you any referrals, or that attorney that it was kind of a waste of time. You don't remember that. What would you want to see happen in an ideal scenario with your CPA and attorney relationship? Again, love to hear that as well. All right. Okay, I'm seeing how you can work together as a team. Heard a couple good responses there in the chat. And again, if you have any questions, then we can possibly, or actually, we can probably answer a lot of these on the chat via email as well. So if you want to feel free to put the questions in the chat during this next few minutes. All right. All right. So final thing here. So you've got your challenges. You know, you got what you want to see. Let's talk about where you're at now. So I kind of look at this and I kind of broke this up into four categories. You know, either A, you get no referrals, maybe you're just getting started, and that's fine. That's totally okay. But maybe that's you, right? Like you just haven't, you have little or no interaction. Or maybe you're at a B level where we consider you get 1 or 2 referrals a year and there's some interaction. And maybe you're at C. This is where you're getting 3 or 4 referrals a year. You've got consistent interaction with a few different COIs. So you know, in a given year, you're talking to a handful of CPAs and you're getting some referrals there. Or you're a D. And this is where you're getting consistently 5 or more referrals a year, when your communication is frequent with multiple COIs. All right. Now that's the kind of the key there. Frequent with multiple COIs. All right. That's letter D. Just go ahead and put that in the chat. Again, love to see where you all at as well. I know in a call of this size, I'm sure that there's many different ranges. I'm seeing one, Mr. Oh, I see Miss Tamara. I see you, Miss Tamara. How you doing? I see a B there. I see another C. Good, good. Yeah, keep throwing it in there. Keep throwing it in there. All right. Fantastic. All right, because we want to whatever letter you're at, we want to take you to the next letter, or ultimately get you to D. All right. Okay. So today, I want to give you a couple of things. First, I want to just talk about why and give you the benefits, just so you're clear and you can understand like why this is worth your time, right? Like many of y'all get emails from me probably all the time. You know, you're on our mailing list and all that. I truly believe if most financial advice professionals understood the power of this topic of mastering the skill of practice management, if most advisors really got it, they would invest 30 minutes to get on a call like this, or they would invest a couple hours a week to fine tune their craft and actually do the things that I'm getting ready to tell you. But 95% of advisors just do not. They don't do it, right? And I think part of it is because we're not. You might understand that there's money to be made here, but you don't. There's a lot of reasons. Maybe there's a lot of how to. There's a knowledge gap a lot of times that, well, how do I even approach this CPA when it's hard to even get in front of them? Like, questions like that. Then I'm going to give you a 5-step process to build a large COI network. And then I'm going to give you a simple success path, kind of what it looks like, a journey to get really, really solid results. And then I want to give you some information where you can take a next step. So for those of y'all that are really want to kind of bump this up, I'm going to give you some different resources, different opportunities that you all can either purchase or invest in or take a look at to kind of get you built up in this area. So I'm really excited about this. All right, so the benefits. This is the why, folks. This is the why partner with CPAs and attorneys, right? Number one of the top managers at Wells Fargo at the time, I think managed a complex of like 200 financial advisors at the time. He said, this is the best way to attract high net worth clients, hands down. So whoever wants high net worth clients, go ahead and throw a thumbs up or yes in the chat. Feel free. If you want higher net worth clients, you want to take the income levels or the net worth of clients that you work with, you want to take it higher. Let's get more referrals from CPAs, right? Hands down. All right. It's more effective than traditional methods. We saw that during COVID, especially with networking and obviously cold calling. Forget that. Leverage. You give better service to the client, right? Which is huge, which is really the most important point. But then it's going to increase your referral potential, but it's going to give you more credibility. And this is for someone that is new in the business or even a veteran. So for the veteran, and I see many of you on this call that I know, for you to say, yeah, I work with a handful of CPAs, or I'm working with this group of attorneys all the time. When you carry that into your next conversations, Well, guess what? All of a sudden, you not only sound more credible, but like I mean, you look more credible, right? When you can say that. And then, clearly it's going to increase production for you. All right. So let's talk about money for a moment. It's not all about money, but the reality is it's the middle of the day and it kind of is, right? How much would you earn if you had one new client? Let's say they had 750,000 in investable assets. And I understand, I know some of you all are not all asset under management type financial advisors, maybe some more, a bit more transactional. But just imagine 750,000 to a client with that kind of money, they were invest something on average with you. Go ahead and put that in the chat. How much would you earn? I know oftentimes when we're talking with firms like Morgan Stanley or Merrill Lynch, perhaps, the answer is $3,500, right? If they're bringing in that kind of money, all right? That's not a commercial for any of those firms, by the way. So I'm not saying you should leave your firm and go to those firms. All right, but let's think about 5 new clients. All right, so 5 referrals, 3.7 million in new assets. The income is 17,500. All right. Now let's look at 10 new clients because this is where we really want to get to the point where you've got 10 solid clients a year that are referred to you from CPAs and attorneys. All right. 7.5 million in assets. You're looking at an additional 35,000 of income. Now let's take it one step further. All right. So 10 referrals a year. Okay. In 5 years, that's 50 new clients. So how many of y'all are in this for the long term, right? Like you're not just playing with this profession or this career, like you're in it, right? You've been in it for 20 years, you've been in it for 10 years, and like this is where you're going. So in 5 years, just imagine every 5 years generating an additional 50 new clients. 100, better yet, $175,000 added to your income each year. And I mean, especially, I know this is especially true for folks that deal with assets under management or more recurring revenue type deal. But nonetheless, if you look at that as a kind of a recurring business, right? And this is just from CPA and attorney referrals. Forget all the client referrals. I know most of y'all get referrals from clients. We're talking about other people that are sending you clients, strong clients, organically, that you don't even work for, you don't hustle for. All right, let that word hustle sit with many of y'all on this call for sure. But think about that: 175,000 added to your income. This is huge. All right. Let's look at a couple people that I'm seeing success with. And we talked about this on last week's success call. Some of y'all were on there, but I just want to give you a couple of my favorite success stories here of folks that do the thing. They work, they kind of work in this area of skill or practice management, and they get results, right? First 20 years of his career, no referrals. And then within 12 months, you're looking at 16. Right? From 4 different CPAs that he's never met before. So these are new relationships. All right. And then here's another one on a younger advisor, 2-3 years in the business, 9 referrals, 9 clients, 12.3 million in new assets from just one CPA and attorney. Right. Because I think I mentioned many of y'all that got the email, we're talking about going from 0 to 10 million a year, or 10 referrals, 10 million a year, let's just say, every single year consistently. So I just want to show you a couple of folks and kind of what that looks like, because that's kind of our main focus as of now. All right. All right. So, all right, we're good on time. Let's actually dive into this game plan here. Now we're gonna get into the process, but I want to just kind of outline a game plan. So for those of you that kind of saw our email this morning, there's no more excuse. Right after today, there's no more excuse as to man, I need a plan to meet with COIs. If you're on this call now, you got it. Or if you're listening to the replay, you now have it. Okay. The first part of the game plan is to tighten your value proposition. That is the first step. Okay. This means that when you get the opportunity to speak to the CPA or the attorney, you're not long-winded. You're not brochureware, right? You're not, okay, you work at, let's say you work at New York Life, and there's all these fantastic brochures, right? Or you work at Merrill Lynch, there's these amazing brochures that have all these great words in them. The problem is that financial advice professionals use it and they speak that language. And all of a sudden, they enter the sea of sameness with the advisor that the CPA just talked to, right? So let's get really tight in knowing not only how good you are, but how can you communicate it, right? And we're going to talk about that in here in a second. So that is first and foremost. To start this game plan, let's tighten the value proposition. And then we're going to identify clients that can start to introduce you to their CPA, to their attorney, right? There's other ways to do that as well, and we get into that in a lot of our trainings. But we're just going to assume that many of you have clients, and this is the best way to start building your network. Because when you meet one CPA, guess what? That CPA now knows an attorney and others. You start with the client, you get the warm intro, you go from one CPA to one attorney to another CPA to another attorney, and I don't want to even get carried away, but identify 5 clients, and then you're going to prepare them. And I'm going to get into that here in a minute. Just let them know what your intentions are, and then you're going to set up and conduct a meeting, and then you're going to simply do one of the most important steps of the game plan is repeat the process. I can't tell you how many people that I've seen now over last several years. We do these trainings. Someone pays thousands of dollars for me to come in and train this large group of advisors, right, or insurance agents, wherever the firm they're at, and they say, "Oh yeah, I did this one time," and the problem is they did it one time. And at this point, they haven't tried it again until after I left the room. You've got to repeat this thing so you can get better at the process. Okay. All right. So let's dive into the value proposition first, and then I'm going to get into the process, and then we'll wrap up. So the 5 points of the value proposition. Feel free to screenshot this if you want to, but definitely take notes here. The first part is, what is the profession of the client that you work with? Just think of one, right? Number 2, what is the dollar amount? All right. I want you to think dollars, dollar signs, dollar amount. What is their income or net worth? And then how you help, the strategy or benefit. Now, this is where many, many, many financial advice professionals blow it, because they get into the brochureware and they spend 60 seconds, 2 minutes, 3 minutes explaining kind of what they do, and without giving any examples, or just they talk for a minute, and after a minute, people's attention span it becomes challenging. And here you are talking and telling, and it sounds good to you, but you're not in their brain. They're at this point maybe thinking about the kids they got to pick up later on, or kind of with this deadline they got to meet. How did you help them? We helped them set up a 401k, period. 3 seconds. Okay. Your differentiator. All right. Now this is key, because what makes you different? All right. So think about your firm. Well, what makes you stand out at your firm? That's a major, major point that you can communicate in the value proposition, and then finish with a story. And again, if you can put all this together in less than a minute, that's fantastic, right? 30 seconds, fantastic, right? And so the first part here is to tighten your value proposition to the point where you kind of go in there thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you communicate it effectively so somebody gets it. They can get it. Okay. Now the process. The first part of this process is to identify 5 clients. Highest net worth clients, these could be. Definitely ones that work with a CPA or a state attorney. If you have clients that you do not know the CPA yet, bingo, start there. They have an estate attorney that you have not met, start there. The best relationships, clients that you like the most, right? The ones that you enjoy working with. Okay. Then after you do that, what you're going to do is prepare them. You're going to prepare them. You're going to do that by having a client-centered mindset. Being client-centered is so key here because it comes across in your language, right? What is it? You want to make them aware of your intentions, right? But what is it? What benefit does the client have for making even the introduction? All right. You're going to learn words like, I want to serve you better. I want to give you the best advice. I want to make sure that all your needs are taken care of properly. What's in it for them? And then finally get authorization from the client. And if you do that via email and have you copied, that's your authorization right there. And then finally, and this is big, coach them on what to say if necessary. Realize, look, you're the leader, right? And sometimes you may ask, well, if Mr. Client, if you're interested, or if it's okay, or would you be interested in having me talk to your CPA? And you're selling, you've been trained to sell, and you've been trained to handle the objection from your client. When the reality is you're the leader and you're trying to do something good for them, you're in a position to coach them on what to say for their benefit. It's a mindset shift, but this is all part of step 2 in preparing them. And then you're going to set up and conduct a meeting. Now, the meeting will obviously set up, right? So look at your calendar. How many meetings do you have with the CPA over the last 2 or 3 months? And my encouragement is to increase that. But you want to have this partnership mindset when you approach them. I'm not looking for more referrals from you, sir. I'm not looking to sell my real estate idea to you, sir, or ma'am, right, Mrs. CPA. I'm not looking to show you how great my company is and how you can make money by getting licensed with me and my firm, and we can share revenue, sir. That's not why I'm calling you. I'm calling you so we can partner for the benefit of our client. It's a mindset shift. It's a total mindset shift. And have the partner, you're looking for partners. So you're not chasing CPAs that are too busy. You're not chasing attorneys that you can't get in front of. You're like, look, I got to do a good job for my clients. I need to have some good partners. I need to get a handful of quality professionals that I can work with so we can build this business so we can run, right? That is the mindset you're going to have that you need to adopt when you are setting up and conducting these meetings. And, you're going to master the language. Like, I want to keep you in the loop, make you part of the team. But really having joint meetings in their office, if possible, is amazing. This is, for all you baseball fans, the bottom of the ninth grand slam. The best way to develop professional trust with a CPA that has not given you referrals yet, or the attorney that has not given you referrals yet, and you are frustrated because they have not reciprocated yet. A joint meeting with a mutual client in their office, let the trust build. Let them trust you more. Give them a chance to trust you as a professional more. Okay? And then finally, repeat. Now, this is so big. I mentioned this a minute ago. When you repeat the process, you're going to start with one client, and then you're going to move to a second and third, and then you're going to adjust each time as you build your network. You're going to adjust. You are going to get better. Your skills are going to increase each time, and you're going to build from one experience to the next. So, I know one of the biggest challenge here is that we go to these seminars, we get these trainings, or maybe a LinkedIn class, and you learn some information. We get all fired up, and we try it for a couple of days or weeks or months, and it doesn't become a habit. And not only that, but we don't get a chance to even adjust and fine tune. Well, how did that client respond to you when you said this? What did that CPA tell you that they need from financial insurance agents, right, going forward to add value? Like, what did they tell you? And then did you bring that into the next meeting you had with the CPA? You're going to adjust each time. Here are the stages of a success path. So this is this is kind of like the journey that I like to walk individuals through. And we're realizing, again, it starts with tightening that value proposition. Once we have that nailed down, that's when you really can kind of start preparing clients. And as you prepare clients, right, by default, your meetings with CPAs and attorneys will increase. All right. Do me a favor, throw in the chat if you feel, how many meetings have you had with a CPA or attorney in the last 30 days? Go ahead and just throw that in the chat. And if it's a zero, that's fine too. I just love to hear it. So I want to make sure that I'm connecting with you, right? And saying things that are like, kind of in line with where we're at here. But COI meetings, like that's so big. Having 15, 20-minute Zoom meetings with an estate attorney, all right, grabbing coffee, getting to know someone. All right. Oh, I know you're so busy, and that's a big reason why we don't even go this route. But if you learn how to just fine tune your time and just discipline the time and realize this 30 minutes could be worth millions to me. If I told you that if you met with a couple of CPAs, one CPA a week for the next 60 days, that'll net $1 million for you in the next 2 years, you might think differently about that. And then, but as you start to meet with these folks, then you start to get referrals. And then after the referrals come, we work on COI referral mastery. That's 10 new clients a year, multiple CPA and attorney relationships giving you referrals. Why is it that this is possible? Because there are advisors that are doing this right now. Believe it or not, there are advisors that are doing this now. There are advisors that have get referrals from 20, 30, 50 or more different CPAs right now, right? I have no reason to lie to you, right? So understand, but that's where we're going. We want to see more of the industry get to that level 5 here. All right, so this is what we covered today. I gave you the benefits of the partnership, and I gave you a process to build a large COI network, and then just kind of fine tune the success path to results and kind of like, what does that look like? What are the stages there? All right. I want to now, so for those of you that are like really want to boost up in this area, like all right, so I'm excited now. I think I could do it. I think I got a clear process now. I just need a little bit of maybe some education. All right. Here's what you can consider next, right? So I just put out a course because I said, we got to tighten this process up. So we literally just kind of, what I just went through, we just kind of deep dive that, but we wanted to keep that very simple. This success path, 60-minute course. Many of you, I think that are part of our master group already have access to it, but you can own it. But it's a step-by-step guide, right? So it's basically what it takes to go from 0 to 10 million in referrals from CPAs and attorneys, right? And in fact, there's a principle in there that I call the power of the multiple. Some of you have seen this, but in this course, I talk about the power of the multiple. If you apply this one principle, right, you will always have a consistent group of referrals coming from a growing group of CPAs and attorneys. Just that one point alone. All right, that's in the success path. You can get that. You can check that out at cljadvisory.com. And then the other thing that I'm so super excited about is our COI Mastery Group. Now, this group is designed to really, again, take you from where you're at, right? Whether 1, 2, 3 referrals a year or 0 referrals a year, and literally just kind of deep dive coaching into how we get to 5, 7, 10 or more consistent referrals from larger groups of COIs. All right. So what you'll get in the mastery group, number one, I know some of you have taken our COI referral training course, but that's part of it. You'll get the referral builder course, which is just value proposition in the process. And then our success program, which is 6 sessions of training, kind of like what it looks like when we train a group. And then the course that I just mentioned, the Success Path course, That's part of this as well. And then here's probably what's probably biggest, I think, and not because I'm the one that's doing the coaching, by the way. It's how do we help you implement this thing? So part of this is knowledge. Let's get you knowledge. But you'll notice the other side of anything that you probably ever learned, man, how do I implement it? I need some help implementing it, right? Like I just met this CPA and they said this or that. Like, what can we do differently? All right, and so we're gonna start monthly group coaching calls actually in about 2 weeks. I'm excited. Our first one of the year is going to be starting here in a couple weeks. All right, so you're looking at a $1,649 value. We want to make this super affordable. So again, more professionals can master these skills. You're going to get this right now for $29 a month. Right, it's a membership. Right, you can cancel anytime. We don't want you to cancel, but it's no long-term commitments or anything, but it's $29 a month, and you'll be part of that network, and you'll be able to join our first coaching call, which really, really exciting. All right, so 32 minutes. I think maybe that was a record. So with that, we're gonna wrap up. If y'all have questions, again, feel free to email me. But I just really just want to encourage you all, as always, to just stay committed to the process. Right? Stay connected with us, like my company, right, and what we're doing, and even the other advisors that we're connected with. Stay committed, because I truly believe that if you master these skills, you can literally add another zero to your income. All right, if not double it. If you're already making seven figures, then 10 million might be even a stretch. But you can add strong income in a big way. All right. So with that, look forward to seeing y'all. Go to cljadvisory.com, take a look at that information, and I look forward to seeing y'all on the next call. See y'all next time.